I get my glasses up, dude. I'm blind.
Where'd you get those?
In real life. It was like 5 years ago that I was with I went to go get my eyes checked just randomly because finally had insurance, and the doctor, another guy named Mark, he says, "Yeah, this is like a no, I'll tell you this." He goes, "Happy birthday." I go, "What do you mean happy birthday?" "You're getting glasses." He goes, "It's the age thing." Sorry, man. I was like, "You son of a gun." So, ranchata. We are not sponsored by ranchata, but I wish we were.
We're not, but I saw that and I knew. I don't know, Rumchata's all right.
It's pretty close to egg. Dude, I couldn't find any eggnog anywhere yesterday.
Really?
It was sold out everywhere. Like, it was stupid sold out everywhere. So we are eggnog-less. I have whiskey. Well, I have tequila. I bought this right here. This is my favorite tequila right now is Corlejo. This is called 99,000 hours
By Corralejo.
by Corlejo. I don't know what 99,000 hours equates to, but
You've tried that?
not yet. I have it for tonight, but if we're doing rum chata, that might not be a good idea.
I'll try it.
Yeah, we'll try it. But okay, so, dude, so if people can't tell, we've got the peppermint bark rum chata, and that can only mean one thing. It's Christmas time. And it's Christmas time in like 28 hours.
Something like
Something like that. Yeah, 28 hours. So this is literally the Christmas episode. Dude, it's all about Christmas. Okay, so now that we're getting started, I'm going to put this right here. Rum chata. Peppermint bark, sir. Cheers.
that. Salud.
Salud. Here's to you. Here's to all of the ones we love, and to a very Merry Christmas. Oh, that's good.
That's amazing.
Okay, Ardy, what was your first Christmas memory? I really want to know.
I think it was when we lived in DFW, just decorating our tree.
When you lived where?
We lived in Dallas, Fort Worth.
DFW. Yeah, DFW. Yeah.
It's probably about 1987.
Really?
I remember the decorations my mom was putting on the tree. I remember our tree feeling like the biggest thing in the fucking world.
Dude, that's cool. That's cool.
How about you?
I remember in San Diego, my parents had those glass balls. You ever the glass shiny balls they'd hang,
Yep.
and but they're real thin, so they fall, they break. And I remember my brother putting one in my hand and squishing my hand and breaking it, and it shattered. That was a little kid, and for those that know me or don't know me, and I say this a lot, I was a mama's boy. So I cried. My brother Michael got in trouble, and yeah, that was my first memory. And I remember like the toys. We all got toys and playing with the toys in the morning, and they were broken like 2 days later, and that big. So I'm the youngest of five, and as long as I can remember, we would wake up like at 1 or 2 in the morning, and we didn't have flashlights, but my dad had like light bulbs in the garage, so we'd get the light bulbs and we would put them on on a battery, and we'd get like a little paperclip thing, so we'd light up the light bulbs off the little like a D battery, and we'd sneak out like at 2 or 3 in the morning to go see if Santa came yet, and we would do that, and then finally when we saw that the stuff was out there, my siblings would send me to go ask Dad if we could go open presents. Yeah, and most times my dad would he would like, no, come to bed with us, and he'd put me to bed, and I'd be like laying there, and they'd be crashed out, and be like, I just want to open presents. But by the time I did woke up, everybody was already opening presents.
He knew what he was doing. He knew
Yeah,
exactly. He was
Yeah, I know. They were tired.
like,
They were
this
tired.
baby's gonna fall asleep right now.
There was like 5 kids.
Thank you.
So you can imagine like my parents trying to do everything for 5 kids, food and everything and all that stuff. Yeah, so they were tired. And then, yeah,
Where were you guys living?
San Diego.
That was
San
California.
Diego.
Yeah.
And my dad, he had a Lionel train set. It's called like the version O or something like that, but it's like the big one. and it's on like a 3-track thing, and he always would put that out, and it was cool. We all thought it was cool. Matter of fact, my brother Manuel had asked my mom about it, so I think she's gonna let him go grab it. So I was like, "That's cool. I'll order my own train. I'll
Sick.
get one." Yeah, I know what kind it was and all that, so I'll get one and be like my old man's train.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and yeah, curious enough. So Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I think you, me, people we grew up with, you kind of wake up in the morning, stockings, toys, Santa, and all that stuff. I I remember talking to my mother once one year about this, and she's from really poor little ranchito. It was, there's a little town in Chihuahua called Casa Grandes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have like the new Casa Grandes. It's weird. There's like two towns side by
Nuevo
side.
Casa Grande, sí.
Yeah, Nuevo Casa Grandes, Viejo Casa Grandes, and they're same name, just old and new. And then she lived in what was called like a colonia outside the old one. For people that don't speak Spanish, a colonia is like, well, how would you say, like a farming
It's like
community?
a colony or a village.
Yeah, like a little village outside of the town, and it's a small town already as it is. Dirt roads, like the water they turn off the in that little village. They turn off the town pump like at 9 o'clock at night, so you
Yep.
didn't have any water. Outhouse, and so a little story about my mother. She's the youngest of 13.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, and she was born in like I don't know, like the 50s or something like that. And so when she was something or like around 7 or 9, something like 7 or 9, my granddad was murdered.
Are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me?
So kind of the opposite of rags to riches. They weren't like wealthy, but he had like a meat market. He had orchards and he had all this stuff.
Oh, so she's known the business for a long time then.
Well, she was a little girl, so as soon as my grandfather was murdered, like the family just all
Oh, would you stop doing that?
everything
Yeah.
came to a halt, and they ended up living in like in a little casita that had like 3 rooms. You know what I mean? And they all grew up there. And she's always told me all these stories. Like she always said like when they were kids, she was always so excited for Christmas. And you think about like you and me, we get these toys, you get that Huffy bike or the Schwinn or whatever, the train, you know. And she was like, "Oh, we were always just so excited to." She goes, "In like our stocking, it would be full with like nuts and fruit." And I was like thinking about, I was like, nuts and fruit, what the heck? And she'd get like a little rag doll that my grandmother would make her and all that stuff, and how excited they were. And I was just like thinking about that. I was like, for a minute, I was thinking about that. Like, why would you be excited about nuts and fruit? Go to Walmart, you buy a bag of pecans, a bag of walnuts, whatever you want. That's what I chew on for a snack. And then I think about like 1950s. I mean, dirt broke, small little village in Mexico. That's probably like only time you got like specialty fruits and nuts and all. That was that one time during Christmas.
Yep, it was a treat.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, yeesh, that's
There were no candy canes. Oh, I'm sure there were.
maybe I don't. Who
It
knows?
might have been expensive. Who
Maybe
knows?
expensive. Yeah.
Look
Like,
at us now.
I mean,
Drinking that shit.
I was with my mother, and I have to think about this. I don't remember what context this came up in. So my grandmother, we called her Abuelita Nacha, and she always had 2 canes because she'd hurt herself or something. But my mom was weird. It was kind of a weird story, but I don't know how it came up. But she's like, it's like the light bulb just went off, ding, and she's like, I always thought your grandmother's favorite part of the chicken was like the head and the feet. And she was just like, we were talking about that, like the things that my grandmother ate, like weird Mexican food. I don't know. I just don't remember the details.
Yeah.
But I remember the moment my mom thinking like, your grandmother's favorite part of the chicken was the head and the feet. And she's like, and we always had food to eat. And then it kind of dawned on her, like, she ate the worst part of the chicken and gave the rest to us. And I was like, hey, like when she told me that, like, hey, you can see the light going off her
my
head.
God.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? Like 13
Doing what you have to
kids,
do, yeah.
Doing what you got to do to make sure your kids have food. So you make everything and you eat just what's left over. Let the kids have the rest of the food. Sacrifice. Like sacrifice, right?
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I even growing up not having much in the United States, my parents didn't have to eat chicken feet and chicken heads. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like they always had something for us to eat. Crazy.
It's a different time, man.
Different time, right?
I mean, you gotta remember this is like within 20 years of the Depression.
yeah.
And
right after the war.
I guess it was after
After
right
the Great
after.
War, yeah, like maybe like 10 years after the Great War and all that stuff, right?
Korean War's going on here, so
Yeah.
who knows what the economy.
Who knows? in
I've
Mexico,
wondered
yeah.
what the Canadian and Mexican economies look like during
Well,
World
yeah,
War
who
II,
knows, right?
Korea.
Yeah. I mean, the
Now-
Canadians were fighting. Mexicans did fight, but not all in. They had people that would go and fight. But who knows, right? Like, yeah.
I mean that does all trickle down, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so food for thought. Talk about reason to be blessed for Christmas. Like, dude, like I'll have to say, Christmas, reflecting on everybody whose path I've crossed this past year and a half, 2 years, the people I've met, the people I work with, people of everything. It's like you meet good people. I feel it's like I feel like I've met some really smart people, really good people. Business, personal life, everything is like wow, just like and you try to be thankful about it. And I always like Christmas, even though like Christmas is crazy. I always like Christmas because people are always just maybe a little bit nicer, even if it's just a little bit. You know what I mean?
You think?
Yeah, not all the time, but yeah. Overall, I think so.
I mean, I'd hope so. Going to 2025 is kind of fucking weird right now.
I know, right?
I mean, so much going on. I hope people are being nicer to each other.
I hope so.
El Paso drivers are definitely not being nicer to each other.
Oh, when is anybody nice driving?
I try to be nice. When someone's being slow in front of me,
I know, right?
I just go slower.
Dude, and I try not to be a jerk. Like, so I know me, when I drive fast, I drive like the devil. When I drive slow, it's like I drive like a grandma, and it's like, I'm not moving out of the way. I'm just taking my sweet time.
There's both extremes.
Yeah, oh, I know, right?
Like if I'm on the freeway by myself, no one's in front of me,
Uh-huh.
I'm punching that shit.
Whoa, Ardy, whoa. Speed demon over here, son of a gun. Okay, so
I like to go fast.
do you know the original Christmas story? What do you know about it?
So
If little 8-year-old little Markcito's here, Ardy, tell me about Christmas.
Okay, little Mark.
What is a Christmas story? I mean, that you know.
the original was that there was this lady Mary, and one day Michael showed up and was like, "Hey, guess what? You're gonna bear the King of Jews, the God of Gods, the one, Neo." No, Jesus.
You're gonna
You're gonna give birth to the Messiah,
you're gonna give birth to a Neo, or what's he the new movies now? He's
the John Wick.
John Wick.
He could play him.
He could play
He
him.
could play Jesus.
You know what? With his long hair and everything now, he could totally do it.
Whoa, there's a hammer. Like Dracula. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Romans.
Okay, so you're right. Except it's not Michael, it's Gabriel that comes in.
Was it Gabriel?
It was Gabriel.
Are you sure?
I'm sure about that.
Who was Michael?
Archangel Michael. I haven't been drinking or anything. I just
Muhammad.
Archangel Michael. He's a patron saint of Israel, patron saint of the of soldiers. He's often called like God's sword or the God's prince of angels or whatnot. The one that he sends to go beat Satan and all that. He's considered like the powerful archangel. And then you have Archangel Gabriel, which is considered the messenger.
Oh, okay. So it was Gabriel who told her, like,
yeah,
hey, guess what? 9 months from now, you're in.
yes.
So I don't recall if her and Joseph were already involved, but Joseph, a carpenter, took care of her. They went
Yeah.
into the town of Bethlehem, I think King Herod got word that
Yeah.
the Messiah was going to be born and ordered for all the firstborn children in the town
Yeah.
to be killed as if it were a plague.
Right.
And so they fled. Can't remember where the difference between, I don't know if they went from Nazareth to Bethlehem, but I believe they landed in Bethlehem, and that's where they ended up at. The story they told us as a kid was
Yeah.
that it was a hotel or like an Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah.
But really it was a farmhouse.
So Herod, you're right. Herod was the ruler of the Levant of Judah or Israel, and this is after the Romans took over. And so it's kind of weird. Like Rome took over, but they let Herod take over that, like kind of like a governor of the lands there. So they were from Nazareth. No. Yes.
They fled Nazareth.
No, not initially. So they were in Nazareth for the census, because the Romans take the census, and you had to go to the hometown of like your husband or something like that to be counted in the census.
Oh.
And so let me think here. I don't know if on the way they stopped in Bethlehem, but when they were in Bethlehem, they that's where Mary went to labor, and they were looking for a place to stay. And this is kind of interesting, guys. I never thought about this until recently in my life. So they wanted in from the cold.
Right.
They're in the Middle East in the freaking desert.
Cold as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's a real thing. You think about it. I mean, like I said, I never thought about it. I always think like the Middle East, big desert, Sahara Desert, or not even Sahara. Sahara's Africa, but it was right
above it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it'd be hot, but no, it was like cold. So they're looking for a place to stay, and so all the inns were all booked. And
That's right.
Who knows what they called it? So they stayed in a place where they sheltered all the animals, and which is why Jesus was born in the manger, because they were in like I guess like a farmhouse.
Yeah.
And
A stable.
or a stable, so to speak, which is kind of curious, because in those times, in ancient times, when it was winter time, people they kept the animals inside because the animals helped keep your house warm.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so it's kind of maybe like a twofold thing, right? So all the animals were there. They had baby Jesus. He was born, and then Herod had already caught wind that the firstborn of somebody was going to be born, and he was going to be the king of the Jews.
King of Jews, yes.
King of the Jews. And we're not trying to give our 5.5, 6 viewers. We're not trying to give you like a Christian rundown. We're just kind of going through the Christmas thing, So if you're interested and you're at work and you have nothing better to listen to, kind of bear with us as this, because we are probably the 2 worst guys to tell the nativity story.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as we drink rum chana.
If you have a problem with the reason that Christmas exists, you're the problem.
But so you're right. They do end up in Bethlehem. She does give birth to him. The 3 wise men come. They were looking at the signs in the sky, and they ended up in Bethlehem
With gifts.
right? And but they were actually intercepted by Herod first.
They were.
And Herod gave them instructions. If you find this baby, this foretold baby, like it's like weird, okay? Like modern days, you, me, the 5 people that are listening to us, like prophecy doesn't play into our life. Not in the way it did like once upon a time. I mean, I think we could talk.
Man.
I don't know
Shit's coming true
the way things are coming true now, right? It's like, but think about like in our whole 30, 40-ish years of life, how many times have you like made a life decision based off prophecy? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I try to live like that on the daily, like have the fear of God, but not usually, man.
But it's not like
we're We're dust in the wind, my guy.
Right. Yeah. Like nobody says like get married when the sun's in the sky
No.
and all. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
no. Right. But these people did, and the three wise men that came from Asia.
Well, they were from 3 different regions. One was from Africa, one was from Asia, and I can't remember the third one.
It was one like from China or something like that. One was
It
from
was
the
like
Orient.
Yeah, one was from the Orient, Africa, and I want to say the other one might have been from the Middle East.
Something like that.
Considering the hats,
So they.
I can say that.
Oh yes. Ardy's our multicultural
Correspondent.
world man. You're
Full
many
name.
things. You're the movie man. You're the social man. You're like you fill all sorts of hats for us. Cheers, my
Hats.
friend.
Cheers.
Cheers. God, this is addictively delicious.
Yeah,
rum
we're
chata.
not
And you know
saving
what?
that bottle.
And you know what? Like the alcohol, I don't know how much is in here, but you barely even notice. It's like a nice eggnog. Like
It is not. Yeah,
It's like a nice peppermint eggnog. The horchata flavor is kind of like eggnog-ish. I almost prefer this better.
it's nice. Gluten free.
It's gluten-free.
Hey!
Hey!
I don't know the percentage, but I'm feeling good.
But this is delicious.
14%. There you go.
Good call. I mean, the tequila's going to wreck
Better than a
everybody
Bud
afterwards.
Light.
So they go to Bethlehem. The three wise men show up. They have a dream that says,
Yo,
go a different way. Don't go back to Herod.
one of the angels.
What?
Probably the messenger.
I want to say they had a dream,
Gabriel.
but maybe it was Gabriel in the dream.
Yep.
So they ended up going back home in different routes. So Herod passed the edict to kill like all the firstborn sons or something like that.
Yep.
So they escaped to Egypt, and that's where like the story kind of goes stale. You know, Christ was in Egypt, and eventually he comes back to the Middle East. I guess continues when he's older, right?
He fled to the land of Moses.
Yes, they fled to the land of Moses.
That's crazy.
It's kind of biblical, right?
It is.
Yeah,
because that's the place
Hebrews
where
fled
the
to
plague,
Moses.
The plague that threatened the firstborn son was.
Yeah, but not only that, the Jewish people fled to Egypt.
They fled from Egypt.
No, to Egypt.
Did
'Cause
they?
They fled to Egypt initially.
They didn't go towards.
They then when they were in Egypt, eventually they were enslaved, and then they fled from Egypt.
Yeah, that was the let
then-
my people go moment.
Yeah, then 40 years wandering in the desert, which is a whole different. That's a whole different conversation. And then they ended up back, and it wasn't during Sirius because Sirius conquered them. I don't know who it was when that led them to Egypt before, like what they were running from. I don't remember why
It was
they
before
left.
Moses.
Yeah, because when Moses, by the time, okay, so Moses was born. Somebody put him down aloft in the river.
His mom, was trying to save him by
Right.
getting rid of him. Oh.
And then so like the like somebody from the court of the Pharaoh found him, like the wife or something of Pharaoh found him and raised him. Didn't know he was Jewish, so he was like the stepbrother to the son of Pharaoh who eventually became Pharaoh. And then he became aware of that he was Jewish, and then eventually, he told Pharaoh like, let my people go, and like all this stuff like happened. The frogs, the boils. Let me see here. The frogs, the boils, the famine, the drought, and then the very last one was like the plague.
And there were seven of them,
I think there probably
or
is
maybe
7.
9.
I don't know.
So
I want probably 7.
Frogs, the boils,
Famine,
fire from the sky.
Okay, fire from the sky. Oh, the
Firstborn.
Didn't the water turn red also?
The
Yes,
water turned to
Nile
blood.
turned-
The
yes.
firstborn.
The firstborn was the last one.
There was the last plague
Do you know why they call Passover?
because death was passing over the doors.
That's right. They took an unhewn
The blood of a
sheep.
sacrifice.
Yeah, but it had to be like an unhewn sheep, and they put the blood over the door.
What do you mean unhewn?
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, and but basically the angel of death, which could have been Michael the archangel, that was his job.
Damn.
Passed over their houses so that they anyway. So like so for the nativity scene, they eventually I believe they fled to Egypt, and you know what? I'm Catholic. I don't know.
I've been to mass, but I was raised Christian. We're Christians.
You know what? It's okay not to It's okay if you're like me, if you're Christian, if you're Protestant, if you're whatever denomination, you don't know the details. Don't beat yourself up about it. We're not perfect. But that's the overall thing with the nativity, right?
Yep.
Okay. So okay. And here's something to think about that's interesting. So, and there's like, I don't believe there's any crazy conspiracies here, right? So everybody always says crazy conspiracies if they
In the Bible, in that story?
Yeah.
No. It's just
It's just
what it was.
You know,
Even the Jews, the Muslims, they recognize
so
Jesus.
and right. No, but what I'm getting at is like there's evidence to say that, Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It was like in the springtime.
It was like in the spring, like probably more accurately, like around Easter.
It was probably
around
still
April.
cold as hell.
Still cold as hell, right? Dude, have you ever been out in the desert camping, even like in a nice spring, even like early summer?
Yep.
Cool breeze comes across just like a soft breeze comes across the desert. It gets cold.
Yeah, man.
It does, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. So anyway, I was thinking about that. I don't think it's a big conspiracy. If anything, because you think about if Jesus' ministry was 33 years from the time when he was 33 years old.
Yeah.
From the time he was born to the time when he was crucified. And then you had early Christians that were in hiding, trying to celebrate the Mass and all that stuff. The Christmas was first celebrated sometime in the 4th century, around 300 years after the death of Greek Jesus. So,
You said Greek Jesus?
no, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Oy,
as opposed to
oy,
Korean Jesus.
What would Greek Jesus say?
Oppa!
Oppa! God bless our Greek brethren. I love you guys.
Gotta try Windex.
I'm going to remind you again, this is not a religious podcast. Couple of guys just having a talk about it. If you find it interesting, stick with us. Stick with us. I mean, we'll eventually get somewhere on this, but I think it's interesting. So it wasn't celebrated till sometime around the 4th century, which put it the first recorded Christmas celebrated on the 25th was recorded around 336 AD in Rome.
Damn.
336, that's like 300 years after. And it was celebrated on the 25th.
That's not that long after. It's like the age of our country.
It's more than the age of our country. Or roughly almost there, right? But okay. But the theory behind why it changed from whenever he was born to somebody saying like, we're gonna do this on the 25th. Oppa! I get too excited. I'm sorry. No. It has to do with the fact that the Romans, they conquered everybody. And the Romans I don't know what year the Romans were kicked out of the Levant or the Jewish uprising, but it says there was a lot of pagans in Rome that still, and so the kind of like bring the pagans into the Roman culture, and I think by that, I don't know if that time Christianity was spreading more through Rome, but
Hey, Mark, do we have time for a bathroom break?
Oh yes, game off.
Right back.
Time out. Okay, and we're back.
Ah,
Game on.
game on.
Game on.
Car.
Car. You have to be at least an 80s baby to get that.
Absolutely.
I mean, what do we call the new kids now? Millennials?
I mean, there's millennials, and then there's the Generation Y.
I don't know. Do they even grow up yelling car?
They don't even know what the hell that is.
I know they know it's a vehicle, but
No, I mean, they don't know what the...
car.
I mean, I'm sure they do.
But not like we used to play like football and baseball, all that in the street.
I mean, no, just kids my age that I can remember. We'd be playing kickball or
Yeah.
street soccer,
Hide
and seek if the game was big enough.
Right. But you always had to yell like car. You'd have to yell loud. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hockey, we played street hockey
I
at
never
MSU.
did street hockey.
That was my jam, dude.
That used to be. At MSU, I did know people that, well, on rollerblades, right?
Yeah.
But then they used to call it like poly hockey. But yeah, but
roller hockey.
roller hockey.
So yeah, I remember we'd practice at Mearshite and at the activity center in that back
I was
little
never
rink.
good enough for it.
No?
No. I know what you're talking about though. I had friends that did it, but I was not that proficient enough to do that. And those people were good.
I loved
They were
it.
good.
That
I
was
know.
my favorite game.
So Christmas. So yeah, so this help spread Christianity, help like bring it all into swing. They started coinciding this like the birth of Jesus kind of thing with Saturnia, like a kind of the worship of Saturn, the god affiliated with Saturn, that happened on the 25th of Christmas, and that's kind of where it all starts. About 300 years after the original story.
Interesting.
Freaking Romans. And there's probably more to that. But
Saturnia is the 6th planet.
yeah. There's like, so
What's up with that?
we could do a podcast on that, and maybe we will, because we talked about, so on we did a Halloween podcast, and a lot of it had to do with those same Roman festivals, and that the Romans, when they conquered all these different lands, how they kind of started melding all these holidays together, and that it all happened around the winter solstice.
Were those the pagans?
Pagans, the Romans, and all them. Like a lot of their celebrations occurred at that time.
Gypsies.
The Gypsies and the Gaelic tribes and all that. Mainly the Gaelic that had the biggest influence on it, and or the Celts rather, and that they for Halloween. So kind of the same stuff, kind of like for the same stuff. It all kind of like melds together. You know what I mean?
It's perfect.
Yeah. Oh wait, what happened to my What happened to my stuff?
What's happening?
Oh, here we go. So I was asking ChatGPT. I said, kind of get me started. Like, what kind of Christmas traditions are celebrated around the world?
I know a couple.
Yeah. Like, okay, what do you know?
All right, so
Well, let's start with America real fast. Let's start home. America, what's our traditional Christmas stuff?
chop down the Tannenbaum, bring it in your house.
That's right. That's what we did. We did that this year.
Mm-hmm. I'd never done that before.
Dude.
It's amazing.
It was cool. I may have started doing that like with an many ex-girlfriends ago. And I never stopped. It was just cool. It's just kind of a cool thing.
I never stop.
You never stop. And just everybody else benefited from it. Mm-hmm. But, okay, yeah. Chop down the tree, lights.
I don't know if stockings are... I don't feel like that's our thing.
I've always done stockings.
So that actually comes from Holland, where they would put gifts in the shoes, in the wooden shoe.
Yes, I was reading. I don't know if it was Holland, but the one I was reading about, but where they put like candies and coins in the shoes, and if you're bad, you'd get like sticks in your shoes
Or coal.
something like that, right? Yeah. But yeah, okay. And then presents are delivered on Christmas Eve when the kids are asleep.
Yeah, that's definitely a Santa Claus.
Yeah,
American Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Oh, Santa Claus wears red. That's an American thing.
Yes.
You know why that got started, right?
No, I don't. Do you know why?
Coca-Cola.
No.
They started using him in marketing, and eventually it was just universal that Santa Claus wore a red fucking suit.
Really?
Coca-Cola.
I feel like you just robbed a lot from me right there, Ardy. I feel like you just hurt me with that. You're telling me Coca-Cola marketing campaign
Made Santa's suit red.
because I've seen all the different colors, seen like the blue ones,
The green
silver
one.
and gold, green.
The one where he looks like a stained glass window.
Yes. So I believe it. I can totally believe that because I was like Coca-Cola's color.
I don't know if it's true or not, but a guy told me that.
It's plausible. It is plausible enough because this is America. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Marketing.
We can do it because we're America.
Ozempic.
America. Okay, Mexico. What do they do in Mexico?
The posada.
The posada. And I didn't know this because we do a posada here, and it's like you go to somebody's house and they take baby Jesus, they sing songs to let him in, they have food and all that stuff, and they pray the rosary. It says here, celebrations often begin with La Posadas, a 9-day reenactment. So that means every night they go to a different house. You know, in the reenactment of Mary and Joseph's search for shelters, families also set up nativities on Christmas Eve. They may attend midnight mass. I do that still. And they eat traditional food like tamales and ponche.
Órale.
Orale. And I did pull up something else up about our Mexican brethren because, because we're cool like that. Let me see here if I can find that again real fast. I was looking this up. Oh, did I lose that? I hope I didn't. Oh, I did lose it. Dang it! I had it on my memory, dude, and I lost it. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see here.
While you look, should I share a interesting tidbit that I learned in Costa Rica?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I went down there for study abroad, and the day that I landed was actually December 23rd, like today.
Uh huh.
And the next night, I joined my Costa Rican host family, and we went and
Like a study abroad thing.
yeah, I was there for study abroad in Heredia, and they invited me out for it was Nochebuena, so we went to mass, but it was 9 p.m. Went with the mom and the kids, sat through mass, and it isn't Santa who brings them their gifts at midnight; it's the baby Jesus.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh really? Baby Jesus.
brings you your gifts. I kind of like that better.
That's interesting. In Colombia, they do. I think it's called like Noche de Luces or something like that, where everybody puts like candles out, like on the 23rd. I want to say it is, and you say prayers, you make your wishes, what you want for like Christmas or the New Year, or whatever. And it's beautiful. They put candles out. My friends would send me pictures where their kids are like lighting candles on the 20. I want to say it's the 23rd. I don't remember exactly what night it is, but it's kind of cool. I used to put candles out too. My Colombian friends.
Sick.
So
Very cool.
when other traditions from Mexico, good old Mexico, piñatas says filled with candies, and they do that for the holiday. They do like really brightly decorated stuff. Let's see,
Because it's a birthday party for Jesus.
it's a birthday party for Jesus, right?
For Chewy.
For Chewy, hey! Traditional piñatas is in the form of a 7-pointed star symbolizing the 7 deadly sins that are broken by a stick to represent faith in God. They're usually filled with little treats like candy, fruits, and peanuts. So
You
that
learned something new. I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
I've totally hit a star like that. Didn't know what it meant.
I didn't know either. Like, so a 7-pointed star, piñata star, is meant to be like destroying the 7 deadly sins. Vamonos, right? Like crazy. Okay, let's go to Germany.
Let's see.
German Christmas markets.
Oh,
Weihnachtsmarkt are popular, offering crafts and season treats. Advent calendars and wreaths are common. Families celebrate with festive meals. So I did read this. In Christmas, Santa Claus doesn't bring you your presents. Saint Nicholas visits on December 6th, while Christmas Eve is when gifts are exchanged. So in Germany, it's more about Saint Nicholas Day. He's the one that brings you presents, not so much Santa Claus. Which Saint Nicholas is is a real saint in real.
And then you wait till January 6th to open them?
No, well, okay. No. Let me think here. What does this say here?
You exchange them Christmas Eve.
This here says Saint Nicholas visits December 6th, while Christmas Eve is when gifts are exchanged. So you exchange your gifts on Christmas Eve, like Ardy. My gift for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And then you open it the next day?
Yeah, you open. No. I guess you would open it then, but December 5th is when Saint Nicholas brings you like the Santa presents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says here. Let's see. Whoops, where am I at? Saint Nicholas is a separate gift giver that nods to the religious version of Santa, and leaves such small presents such as coins and fruit in the shoes of good German children on the 9th of December 5th. But if they were, this is what I read. But if they were naughty, children could wake up to find sticks and twigs or switches in their shoes instead.
Or a visit from Krampus.
I was meaning to look that up. Yeah. Do you know the story of Krampus? Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah. What do you know about Krampus?
I don't know, but those Grinch videos where the kids are freaking out are fucking hilarious. It's like
Right. So that's
Krampus is like a demon, right?
okay. Here it is. The Krampus. Say Krampus. Yeah, Krampus, just like that, is a horned anthropomorphic figure who, in Central and Eastern Alpine folklore tradition, is said to accompany Saint Nicholas on visits to children during the night of the 5th of December. It's called Krampus Night, immediately before the feast of Saint Nicholas on December 6th. In this tradition, Saint Nicholas rewards well-behaved children with small gifts, while Krampus punishes badly behaved ones with birch rods. And so I guess birch rods are meant to, like, so your parents could hit you?
Like a switch.
Yeah, kind of like that. Let's see, anything else? It looks like the devil. He looks like the devil.
Yeah, that's the devil.
He has horns, tails. He's got like hooved feet. But yeah, he's hairy, usually brown or black. Has one foot that is has the cloven hooves and horns of a goat. His long pointed tongue drops out, and he has fangs. This is like the Christmas gremlin monster. He carries chains, thought to symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian church. He thrashes the chains for dramatic. So he intentionally thrashes chains for dramatic effects.
It's like La Llorona.
Yeah, he's like the devil guide. He needs to do something for dramatic effects. The chains are sometimes accompanied with bells in various sizes. Krampus will carry a bundle of birch branches, which he occasionally swats children. So this is saying like this Krampus, whoever he is, will hit a kid. Yeah. And the birch branches are sometimes replaced with whips in some representation. Dude, this is serious. This is serious. On Christmas Eve, Krampus travels with a sack or a basket strapped to his back. This is to cart off evil children for drowning, eating, or transporting them to hell.
What is it with these figures like drowning kids?
Dude, this is serious. Like, I probably would have been a good kid had I known this. Some older versions make mention of naughty children being put in the bag and taken away. This quality can be found in other companions of Saint Nick, such as Zwarte Piet. Zwarte Piet, Luxembourgish, also known by the translated name Black Pete. What is going on with this in Europe? Hold on, I gotta drink real fast. I'm taken aback by this. In European tradition, there appears to be good Santa and bad Santa. So Black Pete is a companion of Saint Nick. In Dutch, he's called Sinterklaas. Saint Nick. No. Dutch is Sinterklaas. French, Saint Nicholas. West Frisians, Sinter. Okay, those are Santa Claus. Traditionally, Zwarte Piet, Black Pete, serves as an assistant to the saint and distributes sweets and gifts to well-behaved children. Wow. So there's a person called Black Pete. Is Black traditions. Here we go, traditions. Okay, so Black Pete helps Santa. Okay. So it says, character is part of the annual fest of St. Nicholas that is celebrated in the evening of December 5th in the Netherlands, Curaçao, and Aruba. This is when presents and sweets are traditionally distributed to children. The holiday is celebrated on December 6th in Belgium. The Zwarte Piet character appears only in the weeks before the fest of St. Nicholas. First, when the saint is welcomed with a parade as he arrives in the country, generally by boat, having traveled from Madrid, Spain.
So it's Spanish?
So he's Spanish. Is that why he's black? That's why he's Black Pete?
He's tan?
He's tan? Wait. I never knew this Black Pete that Santa had a helper. I mean, I know about Rudolph. I mean, apparently in the United States we have red-nosed reindeer, but he has, like, is this a throwback to like slave days or something like that? Like,
I don't know, man. I think it might have predated that.
It might have. And then in Germany you have the Krampus. Dude, I don't know what to say about that.
So he's like Saint Peter?
The Krampus? No, the Krampus is the devil. The Black
Pete.
Black Pete. Yeah, I don't know. Zwarte Piet. Pete has gone through several changes. Yeah. Okay. The character comes from the 1850 book by Amsterdam schoolteacher Jan Schenkman and portrays him as a black Moor.
Okay, yeah, so he's from
Like,
Spain.
it's like African. It's like North African, black Moor.
But they actually occupied Spain for a
Yeah.
good amount of time.
Okay, so that's okay. And then after the Conquista, they kept that there. I don't know. Oh wow, look at this. Those portraying the traditional of the character, since deemed a racial stereotype, usually put on a black face in a colorful Renaissance attire. Different time. That's all I'm going to say. Different time, and it was accepted. This didn't start in the 2000s. This started 200, 300 years ago.
It could have started in the 2000s. It might have been fine. Now, you can't do that shit.
But maybe this was like people's first attempt at being like, Santa's not like a white Christian guy, but for other cultures and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
What do you...
I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. It's Christmas. Like, I mean, like, okay, so like blackface is a pretty common thing. Like, it's a common thing now that it's considered a racial stereotype, right?
Yes, that is now it is the norm and accepted.
Yeah, it's a racial thing.
Right.
But once upon a time, prior to modern cinematography and like everything now, if you were going to play like a black guy,
Right.
you would have to paint a black face.
Right. Kind of like the way in Shakespeare theater there weren't any women. They would
dress as
up.
women.
Right.
So I'm going to say it was a cultural thing at a time. Maybe it didn't have like a racial connotation in the sense of like...
Oh, it's to segregate. There's no doubt about that. It's to not involve this group of people with what we're doing.
So this is our thing, but because it's a good time of year, we let your kind of people participate with our kind of people, and we'll represent that through this additional figure.
Right.
Okay. I mean, because it kind of makes sense, right? Interesting. I don't know. That just blew my mind. That blew my mind. I've never heard of Zwart Piet, Black Pete.
Never heard of that.
Krampus I knew about. I knew that there was this like devil Santa person
That eats the evil kids.
eats the evil kids, drowns them, and takes them to hell.
Yeah.
Sweet baby Jesus, where did that come from?
The misbehaving children.
Ugh,
There's
man.
no nice or naughty list.
Holy smokes!
They were the nice and the naughty list.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, let's just chalk it up to history.
It's like every culture comes up with a way to scare children. El
Yeah.
Cucuy, La
The Kukuya, La
Llorona,
Llorona, yeah.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. So Baba Yaga means
Boogeyman.
no.
Doesn't it?
It's a Ukrainian word that means like the person that eats like kids or something like that.
Let's see.
Yeah, I just heard this like 2 days ago. Like Google, what does Baba Yaga mean in Ukrainian? Hold on, let me Google. What does Baba Yaga mean in Ukrainian? And let's see what it says here. Okay. Ukrainian.
You turn that click.
I know, right?
know.
See, I don't even know how to. I don't know how to say it. So that's the thing.
Baba Yaga.
Midwife, sorceress, fortune teller, grandmother, Jadwiga. An ogress who steals, cooks, and eats her victims, usually children. Slavic folklore,
He would eat them?
which is kind of like what the boogeyman would do, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Baba Yaga could be Krampus too.
Yeah.
I'm down.
A homie.
I'll buy it.
The devil.
I'll buy it.
Kukui.
Kukui. Baba Yaga equals Kukui. Okay, we're going to Italy. Around the world. Ay, ay, ay. What do you think Italy does?
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass. Christmas season includes a fest of Christmas on Christmas Eve known as La Vigilia, featuring multiple fish dishes. I mean, it's Mediterranean. Nativity scenes, prosepi are prominent, and gifts are often exchanged on the Epiphany, which is January 6th, rather than Christmas.
And it's also Three Kings Day in other cultures.
Yes, Mexican culture. Is it the January 6th, the
Yep.
Day of the Kings?
Three
So
Kings.
so the Epiphany. So that's when the Italians celebrate that. And I believe I've heard that too. Okay, I've heard that. And what else does it say? Fruitcake, no. Christmas star, no. That's Poland. Ukrainian dinner, no. Night of the Radishes, that's Mexican, no. Czech Santa. All right, that's all I've got. That's all I've got for. It makes sense. It's Italy, Rome, more traditional.
Catholicism.
Yeah. Okay, Ethiopia. Christmas is celebrated January 7th. Kind of follows the Epiphany and the Three Kings. And because okay, so Ethiopia is like a big Catholic place, and that's where they said that's where they claim the ark was stored is in Ethiopia.
Whoa, that makes sense because it's right
So
in the ocean.
the Ethiopia was like something about like part of Solomon's kingdom and all this stuff. With Ethiopia, they have like a tradition that goes back to all then. Like there's supposedly they have like all these manuscripts. It's like Catholicism is still really rich in Ethiopia.
Wow.
It's like in ancient Ethiopia. Oh, okay. And I want to say Sheba was from Ethiopia, wasn't she?
I don't know.
And she,
I don't know much about Sheba.
I don't know if it's Sheba, but she went. Somebody like one of the queens or something went to go meet King David, fell in love, and
Bathsheba?
Bathsheba, and when she returned back to her kingdom in Ethiopia, she just happened to be pregnant.
Is David or Solomon?
Solomon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I heard David was kind of the same way. We can get to that later.
Yeah, we can get that later. But so Ethiopia has a strong Catholic tradition. Christmas is celebrated following the Julian calendar known as Henna. It involves church services, feasting, traditional games. Many wear traditional white garments called gabi. I could wear a gabi. Okay, Philippines. Philippines, known for having one of the longest Christmas seasons. It begins with Burr.
Burr
Burr. Is that short for Burr?
is Jesus' birthday.
Birthday? Did they drink Burr on his birthday?
Burr.
Burr? That sounds a little too American to be like having Burr in the Philippines. It's got to mean something else.
Let's find out.
I know, right?
B-U-R?
And includes B-E-R.
All right, keep going.
Okay, Philippine Burr. Months and include decorations like paroles, which are paroles, which are star-shaped lanterns. Misa de Gallo. This I didn't understand. Misa de Gallo. Early Mass.
Oh.
Okay, for the Gallo's a rooster. So if you have like the Mass of the Gallo, that's either like midnight Mass or like early morning Mass.
Bro, what I know about the Philippines, those folks probably party all night.
Yeah.
And then stumble to church.
They party all night drinking Burr.
Drinking Burr,
Burr.
for Burr.
And then a series of dawn masses leading up to Christmas is an important tradition. Okay, where do you want to go next? We got Sweden, Australia, Japan.
Australia.
Okay, let's go to Australia. Then we'll go to Japan. Okay, Australia. Christmas falls during the summer because
They're down there.
they're down there.
They're down
And
there.
When it's cold up here, it's warm down there.
Crikey.
Crikey. When it's cold down there, it's warm up here. Okay.
Backwards toilets, mate.
Australians celebrate with barbecues and outdoor activities. Carols by candlelight events are popular, and some families incorporate beach outings into their celebrations. That sounds amazing.
Surfing in the barbie.
Oh, man, that sounds great.
I want to go to Australia for Christmas.
Dude, I want to go to Australia. Like, that sounds like the best Christmas ever.
Kangaroo burger.
Right? Okay, in New Zealand,
The Kiwis.
the Kiwis, the Pohutukawa refers to the native tree that blooms. I've seen these. We used to have these in California.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They're beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a red. It almost looks like a brush, like a hairbrush, but it's not black bristles. It's like like soft red things, and they have like little yellow tips, and they attract all the bees.
Looks like a tropical. What is that? Nochebuena. What is that? Poinsettia.
It's like a poinsettia on a tree.
Yep.
Yeah. They're famed for cheerful, bright red blooms, and throughout the country, the flower is seen as the official symbol of Christmas, often appearing in decorations and cards. Cowabunga in Australia, Christmas means surfing, lots of it. And when they celebrate summer, while the rest of us up here are freezing, Santa arrives by a surfboard instead of sleigh, and after catching some waves, people celebrate with a Christmas barbecue.
And that's why the Beach Boys have some of the best Christmas songs ever.
Man, that is stinking awesome. I'm jealous of Australia. Okay, so here we go. Japan. Okay, so what this says here, couples. Oh God, this is foo-foo. It celebrates so Christmas is not a national holiday. It is celebrated more as a festive event. Couples often celebrate with romantic dinners, Christmas cakes, like a nice sponge or strawberry cake. You know, I mean, Christianity.
That's nice.
Okay, so I gotta read this to you. So because Christmas is like seen as a Western holiday. Let me pull this up. Because Christmas is seen as a Western holiday, what's the most Western thing you could think of here?
In the U.S.?
And I'll give you a clue.
All right.
Finger licking good.
Oh, fried chicken.
Yeah. So in Japan, they celebrate a lot of Christmas eating chicken, fried chicken.
Oh.
And to be specifically, a lot of KFC fried chicken.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of because interesting exchange there.
Yeah, it's like an American thing. KFC is American. I don't know. I'm just kind of reading this, but
so that's crazy.
Yeah,
because there's an exchange there. I've heard of a lot of like New York Jewish families having Chinese food because it's kosher.
So then you in the Philippines they go to mass at the Noche de Gallo, which is a rooster.
Yeah. And
then you go to the Japan where they eat the chicken, eat their rooster for Christmas.
Merry Chickmas.
Merry Chickmas. We just made a full circle there, man. Kind of. Not really. But yeah, almost.
Chick-fil-A, if you're listening, sponsor it.
Sponsor it. That's hey, that's an idea. Chick-fil-A, Japanese Christmas, yo. Marketing ideas. I got you.
Open on Sunday for an hour. Watch what happens.
That's interesting, though. Okay. In Germany, going back to Germany, because Germany just couldn't be any more weird. And not that I'm saying Germany. I mean, I know a lot of Germans. You guys are wonderful. You're great people. But this Krampus thing that takes children to hell or eats some for Christmas, that just blows my mind. But what is up with having the pickle ornament? In Germany, they have an ornament that's a pickle.
They hang it on the tree?
They hang it on the tree. And sometimes they hide it in the tree, and the kid that finds the pickle gets like an extra gift or something like that.
What the fuck? What is it with pickled food, period? Like sauerkraut.
I mean, and look at,
we're weird. But that's weird.
I'm weird. We're all weird in our own ways. That's different, though. A pickle, like a pickle ornament.
Like if we did that, people would talk shit.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm not talking shit. It's interesting. It's interesting.
A traditional gift passed on between friends in Christmas. What is it? Gets re-gifted every year. And the older it is, the more delicious it is.
Is it wine?
Fruitcake.
Aged fruitcake is good.
It's better than fresh fruitcake.
So if I should buy one this week and then hold it for a year?
I guess if it'll survive.
All right, I'm going to try that.
But, okay. Where do you think fruitcake comes from?
That's not Japanese, is it?
No. I mean, think of American culture, fruitcake. I mean, I'm sure any of our 5 viewers listening to us, I think we got like one on Spotify
What
One
up?
on YouTube.
Hi.
No, 2 on Rumble.
What up, Rumble?
And what I'm trying to get at is you can follow us. You can smash us a like on any of your streaming services, social media streaming services that you like.
What is it? The social guy
Yes.
at Instagram.
Oh, I need to update that for this.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Mine's Ardy Dagani. Hit me up.
the beast, he's the man. Ardy is the man with
Letter
a plan.
R, letter D.
Fruitcakes is an
I
Egyptian
was like,
thing.
what'd you call me? It's Egyptian?
It's Egyptian.
All right, that's a surprise.
Egyptians don't. I mean, unless you're a Christian living in Egypt, but it's not an Egyptian holiday. It says it got to start amid the pyramids, was even dropped into tombs, since it was seen as a must-have food in the afterlife. Interesting. Interesting.
A lot of dad jokes running through my head right now. I'm not going to say them. We want to keep the viewers.
It's interesting, though. I can see
Very.
it, though.
I would not have guessed the Middle East.
I could see it, though, because
Africa.
back then there was not like candies, but you would candy your fruit, preserves, sweeten them and all that, and then you'd bake it into a pie or a bread, since there wasn't like anything like angel cake or a cake or anything like that. So if you wanted like a nice treat, you'd put like whatever sweet
Fruits and nuts, very much like in the 50s.
Yeah, and you put it in the bread and be like, "Hey, I got a sweet treat for you guys." You'd be like, "Oh, yay, it's fruitcake."
Fruitcake.
You know what I mean? Like, I could see it. I could see it.
I'm going to go see if there's any hieroglyph about fruitcake. That shit's going to be dope.
Okay. Okay. I thought this was kind of cool, but to our Ukrainian brethren that is fighting for your freedom, here's to you guys. You've been at
Cheers.
it over 1,000 days already. Cheers to Ukraine. Cheers.
Just a quick victory.
Here's to dishing out the punishment. Keep fighting the good fight. But
And here's for the Russians in support of Ukraine. God bless you too.
world peace, man. This day and age, we don't need to be fighting.
Certain loose ends that should be tied, I feel.
Okay, certain loose ends. So, in Ukraine, you sit down to a dinner table, and you have a 12-course meal, a traditional Christmas fest, and each one is dedicated to one of Jesus' apostles.
Oh.
Interesting. And I wonder, is that the roots of a 12-course meal?
We should find out where on those plates and who they belong to, because I want to know what they have for Judas.
Oh, is that the ice cream? No. Like, so when you have a 12-course meal, you take a break and they give you like a little dollop of something, and it's supposed to like cleanse your palate. So would the sweet bad food, like the dessert, be the Judas food?
I feel like the Judas food would be something very sour, like
I'm
a
thinking-
pickle you hang in a tree.
So I don't know. Okay, so if a 12-course meal was like a religious thing, I don't think it is anymore. Last time I had it, like it was a piece of meat, then a scallop, then, like a little salad. The dessert was like in the middle was nice.
Dessert in the middle?
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
and it's like if you go to a really good restaurant and you're willing to drop the money on a 12-course meal, it's worth it. It's usually worth it.
Let's go.
Do it. I'm game on.
Vegas. Come on, Vegas, baby.
Let's go back to Mexico.
We're gonna grab Hector and go back to Vegas.
To our Oaxacan brothers. And this it was interesting. In Mexico, in Oaxaca, every December 23rd, the residents bear witness to a competition like no other. Dun dun dun. The participants will carve a scene from the nativity into the skin of a sizable radish. And then they're put on display in the market. I don't know what a sizable radish is. I've only known radishes to be like.
Yeah, like that.
You think a sizable radish is about the size of a small baseball or something like that,
Like a
racquetball,
small onion.
and they would
Racquetball. A racquetball's perfect.
I don't even know what a scene of nativity would be. Like,
So
do you
it'd probably be
carve the
like-
donkey into the radish?
Hell yeah.
Donkey.
So you start with the baby, and then the mama, and then Joe.
And we may joke around about it. Maybe they do an amazing job. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I've seen people do amazing things with pumpkins.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
And if anything, you would just like do the outline. Like the red is going to be your
Yeah.
canvas, and the white will be your lines and your shading and your shapes.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna see if I can find any photos of any.
Okay, the Czech Republic, Santa doesn't. He delivers his present on December 5th for St. Nicholas Day. Let me see. Oh, interesting. Christmas tradition. What was the official flower of Christmas in Costa Rica? Because that's where you
The
went,
official
right?
what?
Is that where you went, Costa Rica?
Yeah, I was in Costa Rica. What was the question
The
again?
official flower of Christmas. Because you know what it is in the United States, right?
It's the poinsettia,
Right.
like in Mexico. That's North America. I feel like
I feel like you must be right.
over there it must be like
The orchid.
it would be. 'Cause they're
Do they grow everywhere there?
they're everywhere and they have different colors, but most of them are
Really?
gonna be like pink or white. Gorgeous.
So,
Bro.
Costa Rica.
Before I forget, that's what they carve out of radishes.
Holy smokes. You should send me that and I'll post it on the... So, it's like the nativity scene of all of Bethlehem carved out of radishes. Like
Amazing.
churches, people, animals, and all. Holy good Lord. Oh, Venezuela. If I didn't lose my heart in Colombia, I left it in Venezuela.
Really?
They do not go to church in vehicles.
The burro.
Not even el burro. This is going to blow your mind.
What do they ride?
They go on roller skates.
In Venezuela?
That's what it says. Because there are actually so many people who participate in this tradition that several city streets are closed to traffic on Christmas morning.
Oh, it's easier to get between stuff.
It must be. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like the Mighty Ducks.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
It's kind of crazy.
Super mustachio down there.
I'm gonna look that up too.
There's a cartoon named after what's his name, the president of Venezuela. It's like Super Bigote,
Super bigote.
and it's the guy dressed like Superman with a big B on his chest for his bigote because he has a big Maduro. It was like a way to kind of like do this like a political.
It's like the orange face thing.
Yeah, except to build support. It was done to build support. Like, oh, we're poor. The United States is evil. Oh, wait, here comes Super Bigote. Like, I swear to God.
Communism's crazy.
Communism's crazy. Okay. So, the movie Love Actually.
Saw it a long time ago. Don't really remember it.
I always liked it. I always liked it. I don't share that movie with, like, people I'm dating and all that. It's kind of like my movie. I get it.
Hey, add that to the list.
I got it. Okay. And so if you must, like, I really like Love Actually. It's kind of cool. Like the guy that's in love with his buddy's girlfriend or wife. If you're a guy, you've been there at one point. Then there's the guy whose wife dies and he's trying to get out there dating again. So we've all gone through separation where you're trying to deal with something. And then you have that one guy that's the writer and he falls in love with a girl that he can't speak with, and he goes back home, learns her language, and goes and tries to find her, like, and kind of like professes love to her.
Is that the one where Rick Grimes has the cards?
He has a what?
He's like holding the cards with the message to the
Yes, yeah. Like there's like multiple stories going on at the same time, and like depending on where you are in life, each story will speak to you. And what's funny, like at the end, all the people all know each other too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It was a cool movie, and I like how it even starts, like with Hugh Grant kind of reading the monologue. I believe it's him, and he's saying with all the craziness in the world and 9/11 and everything, but when you're at the airport and people come together, that he says, you actually notice that there is love around or something. Then the words love actually, like it's kind of a cool, it's kind of a cool way to open a movie, you know. Okay, so in Love Actually, speaking of the movie,
Yes.
how do they greet each other during Christmas time? Because mind you, this is England.
In Love Actually?
Yeah. Like if you come to my house and you see me at the door, what are you gonna say?
Oh,
Spanish, you'd say Feliz Navidad.
in England, you would say Merry.
No, that's an American.
That's
An
Merry
American
Christmas?
American, you would say, Ardy, Merry Christmas, Ardy. Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey.
It's not Happy Holidays.
No. And this is England because England English is a little bit different. And I'll give you an example. When I played rugby, a gentleman from London came down to, like, his wife was here and he was writing a book and all that. His really cool guy named J.J. Orway. And one of the times he came out the field and he comes up to me and gives me a hug and I was like, hey, man, how are you doing? And he tells me like, oh, I'm good. Are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing? He goes, I'm good. Are you okay? And I'm like, and he says again, are you okay? And I'm like, I feel like I'm okay. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, do I not look okay? Do I look sickly? And he goes, I'm like, I'm good, man. Thank you. How are you? And he goes, I'm good. Are you okay? And he asked me again. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll take my pulse. Did I drink too much last night? Like, why do you keep asking me, are you okay? He's from England. Well, the way they ask each other, how are you doing is, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah. So for Christmas time.
I remembered it.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Interesting.
Fucking trivia brain, bro.
Dude.
A little slow, but we're okay.
Freaking English language. Ah.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. We wish you a very happy Christmas.
We wish you a happy Christmas. We wish you a
Yeah,
happy
happy
Christmas.
Christmas.
And
Happy New Year.
a happy New Year. And a Merry New Year.
I don't
And
know.
a bloody Merry New
Oh,
Year.
dude. That's kind of crazy, though. Like, oh. Okay. Here's one more. Let's do China. In China, it's not all cakes and candy when it comes to Christmas. It's about apples. People who believe that this tradition stems from the similarity of the Chinese word for apple to the Chinese word for Christmas Eve. Gift givers give entire packages of apples to loved ones for Christmas. Because again, Christmas would not be an Oriental celebration, but if it sounds like apples, then it kind of merged into its own apple giving thing.
Interesting.
So what say you about some of this? Oh, look, I'm sorry. Tamales. While many American Christmas dinners tend to revolve around turkey or ham, in Mexico, it's all about the tamales for holiday feasting. I'm going to be making tamales, dude.
There's one Mexican tradition that has not been mentioned yet. I don't know if it's going to come up.
Oh.
Did you already go through all the Mexico stuff?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait till the end, see if it made it through.
Are you talking like illicit drugs?
Bags are involved.
Bags are involved. Mexican holiday? Luminarias.
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
Is that a New Mexico thing?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
So for those of you that know or don't know, a luminaria is a traditional, it's like a lunch bag. And you fold down the top. Some people don't fold down the top because it's too hard. Or you can't fold down the top. You put a cup of sand in there and you put a candle in the middle. And you light it at night. And so the luminaria was kind of more of a posada thing to light the way to your home. No, I'm off.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. You're right about all of that. The origin, as stated here, it was in 16th century Mexico, but it was brought to the Southwest with the Misión
Really?
the Norte.
So they sell electric ones. I feel like you used to see a lot more of them. People would do it because it takes work. Like you're buying the bags and you're trying to fold them, and it stinks to fold the bags.
Yeah.
And so where I grew up at, we lived in like a cul-de-sac, which is like a street that makes a U, right? And we were at the base of the U. And so me and my siblings, we just started off like one year buying like 2 bundles of bags, like 24 bags. and just going digging a hole in the backyard and filling them up with sand and whatever candle we could find, we'd put them in there. And before you knew it, like 2-3 years later, all the neighbors in our cul-de-sacs would come out to our house, and they'd give us money, and we would go buy hundreds of bags, go buy cases of candles, and I would take my truck to the desert, load up on sand, and we would spend Christmas Eve filling up luminarias, putting them all around, and hundreds of them. In the so much so that we got like the city to turn off the city lights in that street, and
Damn.
it was really cool. It was really beautiful, and now that everybody's either gotten really old or the kids have grown up and they've all moved away, nobody does it anymore.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it just started with a bunch of random kids that were too poor to do anything, but we had lunch bags and dirt, Luminarias. It's very cool. That's too bad you don't see it that much, though, but it's really pretty. You know why you don't see it, though, is because the luminaria, once you light it and use it, it's kind of it. And because the sand stays moist, the once you pick them up, like the bag will tear.
Oh, yeah. They have to stay in place.
Right, so you can't really reuse them because they get smashed or they get weathered really quick. So it's like a one-shot deal.
Yeah, I love that NMSU does it every year.
Oh, my God. New Mexico State University. And they're kind of a combination of electric and real ones, right? All the buildings have the electric ones.
Last time I was there, they were using like the wax tea lights.
And even on the ones on the buildings? 'Cause I thought the ones on the buildings had like electric ones.
At least the ones that were like going through
The
Corbett
sidewalk
International Mall. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And it's beautiful. It's pitch dark. There's thousands of luminarias. It's the most beautiful thing ever. Man, that's cool. Like, anything surprise you from the list of stuff we went through?
Krampus.
Jesus, dude. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say about that. Krampus sounds wicked.
Imagine the person came up with that. Definitely.
I don't know. Like, but you think about like
religious.
All the folklores back then to scare kids and all that. Even Halloween was like you're meant to dress up to scare away the evil demons.
That probably kept kids probably like thought it was safe to be playing in the dark. Like you're by the fire, and kids would probably stray, and you'd get taken by
and then you have
a coyote, a wolf, or something.
You know what I often think about, and it's so like non-Christmas, but like this day and age, like if your neighbor's a creeper and he's like watching your kids, call the police, whatever, right? But think about like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, much less like 300 years ago. If somebody lives out in the middle of nowhere and they come to town creeping on your kid, on your girlfriend or something, kidnap them at dark night and they take off. There's no phones. There's no nothing. You wouldn't, if they took off on a horse, chances are of you finding them, they're gone. It's not like now, like, the police call an APB on the next town. Dude, there's this murderer flying down the road. He's going to set up a road stop over there at your town. None of that existed back then. Phones, nothing. So as a way to keep people close to town, you tell these stories like don't go in the woods because you don't know who's there, going to kidnap you. Or
dragons.
I know. Well, I've read weird stuff about that, but that's a different conversation.
They might have been real.
Yeah.
That dinosaurs lived among humans.
That there was a Mayan, no. It was in the Indies. One of the buildings that they had like carvings, and on the carving it has like a stegosaurus.
That's fucking crazy.
So like we find the bones now, right? Are you telling me that they found the bones back then, and that with the bones they came up with their recreation of what it was?
No, apparently the first dinosaur wasn't found until about like 150 years ago.
Now, just randomly, we talked about this before on the show, but like about dinosaurs and how many bones are found and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so T-Rex roamed the earth for I think 120 million years. Like and he roamed the earth like 200 million years ago or something like that. Yeah. Like
Cretaceous, Jurassic.
long time ago. So they estimated there must have been something like 10 billion T-Rexes that roamed the earth.
Just eating everything.
Yeah, right? But
each other.
But the T-Rex, you know how many complete skeleton remains have been found? Complete.
Oh, like 2.
1.
Just the one?
Just one.
Is that the one that little kid found?
I don't know if that little kid found. I just know that there's one complete T-Rex
There's
skeletal
one
set.
full one. I think that was found by a kid.
A lot by a kid. A lot of pieces everywhere, like a hand bone here and a
Right.
leg bone there, but
Never fully.
just only one.
Like, very rarely more than 75, I've heard. But they found that one,
Yeah.
I think, in Texas or somewhere.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And then they rebuilt like the larynx and all that based on the fossil remains of the animal and they were able to recreate it based on their scans and generate what the larynx would have been like to recreate what they were to sound what they sounded
Have you heard
like.
that?
It's nuts.
It's terrifying.
It's not. So it's not like Jurassic Park, which Jurassic Park they said was a mix of a tiger and like an alligator and like another animal, kind of like all synthesized into one,
And Spielberg's voice.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the real dinosaur actually has more of a bird
Giant
sound,
bird. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a huge ass, like, pelican or...
something like that. Which I don't know if that's any better.
No.
No,
Dude, I don't want to see a giant parakeet.
no.
Fuck it, any
Dude.
of that.
I've got little budgies, like the little lovebirds. Dude, those things are vicious little animals. I don't know why they call those animal lovebirds. They are vicious little reptile brain beasts that just, like, they look at you like they're going to eat you.
Imagine if that was the size of the Christmas tree. You guys are done.
We're done. Like,
Yeah,
like
Grap got the...
a little 3-inch bird with a little beak hurts when they bite you. And when you're holding them, they fight you to high hell like I'm going to get out of your hand. I'm going to kill you. And they're fighting you and they're biting you and it hurts. And so you put it back in the cage real fast. So yeah, if you're right, if he was like 30 feet tall,
You're done.
you're done. You're done.
T-Rex was what, like...
I don't know.
I think it was like...
2-3 times the height of a man?
We're about the size of the leg, if I'm not wrong.
Really?
Yeah, there's that motherfucker right there.
Yeah, that's that guy right there. It's one right there.
I want to say maybe like 2 stories, 3 stories tall.
Really? I believe it. I could believe it. So anyway, so that was some of the things that go on for Christmas around the world.
I'm just like painting the picture, like imagine
Dude,
when we first parked, we couldn't find a tree, so we walked how
Right.
far? We were like you, me, Joanna,
it
the
was
puppies.
we only went like a mile and a half. I mean, you're going uphill. It's cold.
We chopped that down yeah, it was cold. We
Uh-huh.
kept going to like little puddles, and like you and me and the dogs.
The
were, like,
trail,
making sure.
the trail is bad, so you're trying to walk the trail, and it's not a good trail.
Each tree that we found, we're like, nope, not that one. We kept going, and then it
It's-
started getting dark. Remember?
Yeah.
Imagine you're just out there trying to find a tree, and all of a sudden,
So, okay? Is that the T-Rex?
imagine you hear that.
Dude, that sounds wicked.
What do? We start running. That's got the run of the truck.
That's nuts. See, that doesn't sound any less scarier than the Jurassic Park T-Rex.
Where's the goat?
I know, right? Just even that sound right there in the background. That
Sounds like The Shining.
yeah, it sounds like The Shining. That's nuts. I see, like, that's not any reassuring. So, and here's the thing: does it make the noise just as when it's in a group or sees another one or sees an animal, or it's like, oh, I just stubbed my toe,
All of that. There's different
or-
noises for all of it. They used
or
to
is it
communicate.
like, oh, there's Ardy, you know, like
I haven't eaten in 3 days and I'm hungry.
I know, right?
Like a grizzly.
Man, that's a nuts. And so they do that by scanning the larynx and like passing air through it. That's nuts. Like, science is amazing. Mm-hmm. Science is amazing.
3D printing.
Dude, I
AI.
tell you, here we are talking about T-Rexes for Christmas. There's my other T-Rex right there.
I
That's
like
cool.
that metal one's dope.
That's dope, right? So yeah, man. Like,
Sick.
so are you getting anything special for Christmas? You think this year?
No,
So I have
just bought myself a trip back to Dallas.
I have this theory about Christmas, like, and I don't know how people feel about this or not. So Christmas, like my mother, she asks me every year what I want for Christmas, and I always tell her, it's Christmas. Whatever tickles your fancy, it's okay. So I want to get you what you want. Like, I don't need anything, but whatever you want is cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's about giving a gift and just how you feel, and it's fine. Whatever tickles your fancy. And so every year she buys me a pair of shoes. And
dope.
usually it's like the same pair every year.
Do you like them?
No.
Shit. Tell her to get you a gift receipt.
But it's the thought that counts, and I know she's trying to be, thoughtful and all that. And my theory on it is like I usually do all my Christmas shopping in the last day and a half.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
And my theory is like, if I'm gonna buy somebody a gift, I want to grab something that I would like, because why am I gonna get you something that I wouldn't like?
Right.
And I'm not gonna buy you a pair of socks because like.
You're
for
not
the
family.
Just for the sake of giving you a gift by you.
No. It's like buying a dad a tie every Father's Day. Not
Yeah.
too predictable, not fun.
Right. So it's like, if I see in the last day and a half, if I see it and it tickles my fancy, I'm gonna get it for you. And if it's something that'll make me laugh, it's good. I hope it makes you laugh. I feel like it will. If I hate it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna hate it. And that's where my mindset is for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, just enjoy it.
And by the way,
Get
to answer
the
your
pressure.
question, I don't know. I might get something. I am seeing family. I just don't expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, I know what
pressure.
you mean. I like them. I'm the youngest of 5, and once you move out and everybody goes their ways and have families, they do their things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be just me and my mom. So like, yeah, I got her a few things.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
got her a book. She's been playing with a lot of Legos in her age at this time.
Oh, good.
So
That's good.
got her a nice set for that. Nice
That's
big,
cool.
like Japanese landscape thing. It's dope.
Very cool, man. Yeah. And what about for you? Did you get anything for yourself?
Oh, that trip to Florida.
Okay, the one that you came back from, Ardy.
Yeah, that was like an
that's
early
cool. That's
Christmas
cool.
present.
I've only been through Florida, but I haven't like visited Florida. If that
Dude,
makes sense.
same. When I was on my way to Costa Rica, I had a layover in
Uh-huh.
Miami. That was it. But I want to go back, like being a Dolphins fan, and now. So you always hear about like the Florida man and how crazy shit happens in Florida, this and that, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little worried, like when I got there, I was like, "What's up with this place?" And it was heaven, dude. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like there is no place in the United States that has reminded me of Costa Rican weather like that. The
Really?
weather was amazing. There were pelicans everywhere. There were gators everywhere. There were like, I mean, beautiful women. A lot of stuff to do. Like, dude, we went to Disney World. I was there like 10 days, and we went 7 of the days because,
Did you see any alligators at Disney World?
bro,
Did you really?
we were within like a quarter mile of where that poor baby got attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're on the property,
Wow.
and they do their best to like block them out, but gators are
They're smart.
everywhere.
They there's like a video of a gator climbing a fence, like a metal wire fence, a chain link fence rather. And it's weird, like because the little hands fit in the squares.
They lose their arms doing that shit. It's crazy.
But there's like a video of an alligator that gets to the top and he falls over to the other side. Dude, chain link fence. You know what I mean? Like,
All right, so this is Paradise, Florida, which is a city that was developed inside of Disney for like not like staff members that work in restaurants, but like the high execs of Disney World live in this place. It looks just like 1950s Hollywood. It's crazy. It's
Really?
beautiful. So there's this like sick, beautiful hotel,
that's beautiful.
and it's on the bay. They have like a little dock there.
Uh,
But right before that video I shot, check that sucker out.
wow. And there's just an alligator just chilling through the water.
And that's like a teenager, dude. So apparently these things get up to 40 feet long if they live their entire lives. But unfortunately, a lot of birds eat the babies.
Oh, really?
Like pelicans will eat baby gators, no problem.
Really?
No problem.
Oh, that's fascinating.
They get hit by cars, other gators. I mean, gators fight each other all the time. They will
Really?
grab each other's arm and like just roll.
Yeah, and they take off each other's arms. But that's just, dude. There it is, right there.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
You know what? You know what else Florida has a big problem with, or the Caribbean, I should say. Lionfish.
What is that?
It's like a fish from the. I want to say more like the Indian Ocean or the Indo-Asian like waterways, and it's a funky fish. It's got like this big thing on its head, and it's got they're big like they're big like fin things here, and very colorful. Like maybe that's why they call it the lionfish, because it's almost like a big mane,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
but it has barbs that are venomous.
It's like striped, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so in like the Asian, India, like that part of the world,
Yeah.
other predators have grown up with them, like sharks, and they know to eat them.
They know to eat them.
They know, like, hey, I can eat you. You're a delicious dinner. I'm gonna eat you. But apparently, what happened was they don't know what happened. They don't know if some people say like, oh, hey, I want a lionfish, and one day they're like, I don't like my lionfish. I'm just gonna let him go, free willy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
In Florida?
Yeah, so now they're in the Caribbean. It's warm water, and they thrive out there because they have known predators in the Caribbean.
Oh, shit.
Because none of these other animals have grown up saying like, "Oh, hey, you look delicious. I'm gonna eat you."
I wonder if that's what they're poisoning people with in the DR.
It could be. Well, apparently, like once once the lionfish is dead, it's that little spear thing coming out of it. It's a little barb. Well, they're kind of big, but the venom fades out of those very quickly after they've passed.
Oh, so you can't extract.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Only
Right?
while they're alive or something.
Yeah, and so there's like a big push in the Caribbean to kind of control them. So people spearfish them. They sell them to restaurants in Florida, and people in Florida cook them and eat them. There's a way to clean them, and they're supposed to be very delicious. Or they spearfish them, and they get them on the spear, and they feed them to the sharks and to other there's like groupers that'll eat them and all that. So they're trying to feed them to other animals to like.
Hey, they taste good. Come
They
on.
taste them. Come and eat them. And I guess the sharks aren't phased by their venom or something like that.
That's crazy. Like you
Yeah.
would think once they're inside of those jaws, they must get shredded up pretty quick.
Right? Yeah. Who
Oh,
knows?
hence they die quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw a video where the guy had like a spearfish on the tip of his spear or a lionfish, and there was a shark that he kept on like putting in front of his mouth until they ate it, trying to
You gotta
train
taunt them. Oh.
trying to train the wildlife in the Caribbean to recognize it as a food source because it's not native to the Caribbean.
So I wonder if like fish like oh, that's a weird ass thing, and then just like go buy it.
Take a nibble. It's like, I'm going to give it a try.
Hell yeah, that's
all
dope.
this on Christmas. All this on our Christmas episode.
T-Rex, lionfish, Krampus.
Don't piss off the Krampus. Yeah, no, I'm gonna make traditional stuff. We're gonna make pozole and tamales and
Dope.
yeah, probably invite the mom over. And I usually just take it easy on Christmas.
You have to.
That's it. You know what I mean?
That's if there was any day to take it easy.
There's no snow, so we'll just chill here and
Why is it
enjoy
so hot?
I don't know. It got cold like in October, like a snowstorm cold,
For a-
and now it's warm again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like I say, I'm very thankful. Like I kind of just reflecting back on the people that I come encounter with
Amen.
work and all that, and they're very thankful for all the really good people that I've come across and people that are way smarter than me and all that good stuff, and
Absolutely.
just doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, well, here's to a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Be like the Philippines and have some burr. All right, my friend.
Illuminatias.
Illuminatias. I guess that's a wrap, man. That's
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Happy New Year. And when we come back for the New Year, we'll have a new backdrop, hopefully.
Damn.
Dang, we're moving on up.
George Jefferson.
Moving on up.
You know he lived in El Paso? Have we talked about that?
Wait, what?
George Jefferson, at the end of his life, lived and passed away in El Paso.
No. Really?
Yep.
Mine is like
Isn't that crazy?
blown. You just blew my mind, Ardy.
It's like Gene Roddenberry,
Who's Gene Roddenberry?
creator of Star Trek, is from El Paso.
Really?
Just like Princess Leia's mom. Debbie Reynolds,
From El Paso too?
from El Paso.
Wow. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Son of a... All right, well, we will do an El Paso episode once. Give credence to the Southwest.
September 15th, 915.
Down in the southwestern town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Marty Robbins.
Marty Robbins, man. Dude, that's cool, man. Right on, dude. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
have a good night. Bye. I'm trying to get this up.